You are so focused on your curse that you miss your blessing. That's a hard one, right? I used to watch this show called Monk, and he used to say all the time, it just stuck with me. It's a gift and a curse, right? Because most of the time, your gift, unfortunately, is also going to be, or your blessing is also going to be, come with its curses, right? And that's hard. It is. It's like when you're trying to be a light and you love it, but then you have to understand that when you're a light, people attract to you, right? And it's not always the good people that's attracting to you. It's the people that's hurt. It's the people that are living in darkness that don't want you to live in your light, because when you live in your light, it makes them look inward and see, hey, I'm not living in mine. And that's a hard thing to do, to understand that, hey, I'm not who I could be. And it's easier to blame it on, oh, you know what, my generational curse. Most people think and they focus so much on their generational curse that they don't know, nor do they even comprehend that they also have a generational blessing, right? If you think about it in the Bible, you think about Ishmael. He wasn't the son that was going to bring the country together and have dominion. Well, they have dominion. So he wasn't the son that was the promised child. But to ignore that he had nations, it's just, it's like as humans, we focus so much on the bad that we miss the good. And then when we miss the good, then we realize, hey, you know what? It's a cycle, because I keep missing the good because I'm focusing on the bad. But then when I get past that good, I realize that, hey, I was actually in the good and I should have focused on the good. But now I'm focusing on the past instead of going to the future. And now that cycle just continues. That cycle of like, oh, I had it good at this time and I didn't know that I had it good because I was so focused on the bad, right? Now, one thing I want to talk about is Eve's curse. You know, Adam and Eve, they were cursed because they ate the tree, because they failed to love God, because they sinned and failed to love God. Now, when they ate of the tree, God cursed them. But to understand is that God never took away his blessing. God cannot take away a blessing. Once he says something, it is, right? So that blessing was still on them. The only difference is now that they had a curse attached to it as well. But if they focus so much on that curse, they would miss the blessing of it all. Most people think about, hey, she would have to endure pain in conception, right? So in order to get her child, she would go through pain. But I want you to understand that she was going to go through that pain anyways. He multiplied her pain and sorrow. He didn't add. It was already there. But because you focus so much on that curse, you miss that part. Said, I will multiply, which means that she was already going to feel pain. But you miss that she was still going to be able to be fruitful and multiply and have dominion over the world. That didn't get taken away. It was still their blessing, but they focused so much on the curse. Just like they focused so much on what they lacked, that they missed everything that they had. They missed their abundance because they were focused on their lack. I want you to ask yourself, hey, what am I focusing on? Is it my abundance or is it my lack? And I want you to be honest with yourself. And when I say this, I've done it myself. I used to focus so much on like, oh, I wish I was back in the past. Oh, I was skinny. I had the stomach. It was flat in the lat chat. I had the arms. And when I stopped focusing so much on the past and acknowledged where I was at right now, I was able to get better, right? Once I stopped focusing on that curse, when I stopped focusing on what my generational curse was and realized what my generational blessing was. And a lot of y'all don't know it. So go figure it out.